everybody, welcome to another edition of Beer 30 Beer Reviews with me, your host, Big Dub. Got a special one for you. We're talking bucket list. We're talking bucket list beers, as well as bucket list sporting events to go to. I've been fortunate to go to quite a few sporting events, but there's still a lot on my bucket list when it comes to sports. And these two beers here have been on my bucket list for quite a while. And they're on this bucket list I printed out from Cool Material. I'll put a photo up. Obviously you can't see it here, but we have Heady Topper. I think that comes across number 1, 2 on most bucket lists. Number 1 on this one. Then from Founder, we have their CBS, their Canadian breakfast stout. On this list, that comes across at number 11. So I have two of the finest beers. Have never had them before. Very excited. But going back to the sports aspect, I've been to a lot of NCAA tournament games, been to a lot of conference games, but the one thing I have not been to is a Final Four. I'm a huge college basketball fan, so that is one of the top things when it is on my bucket list. If you've never been to any NCAA tournament games, especially the first 2 rounds, I suggest you go. They're a blast. Who cares if your team's there or not? You get 4 games, the intensity's high on the first day, then 2 of the second day. They're just a lot of fun. You get into them, you find a team to root for, and you get the energy in the building to root for the upsets, or, you know, it's cool to see some of the big schools or teams that you'll never get a chance to see. So I would suggest going and doing that. Another big event I think a lot of you probably sports fans have on your bucket list is Super Bowl. I wish I could have gone to last year, seen the Chiefs and actually win it, but I will get there someday. I know it's a pretty penny, but I will find my way to a Super Bowl sometime. It is definitely on any big sports person's bucket list, and to use that have been, congratulations. That's amazing, and I'll join you one day. So, first off, this is the one I'm most excited about. From the Alchemist in Vermont, Heady Topper. It's a double IPA. Everyone raves about it. It gets perfect scores all across most beer rating sites. So, could not be more excited and happy to give this a go. Nice golden color, as you can see there. A little foggy to it, so it's a little thicker, obviously. So, on the nose, it's pretty sweet with a little hoppiness thrown in there. But yeah, you definitely get a sweet, hoppy smell to it, almost a little citrusy. That's unlike any IPA I've ever tasted before. That is amazing and delicious. Starts out very smooth and sits light on the tongue. And then the hops attack you. It feels like from both sides as it sits there in your mouth. And then the heaviness of the hops and beer itself take over. Then as it finishes with a little dryness and a little bitterness. And it's flavors I've never tasted before when it comes to a double IPA. I think it's worth every ounce of write-up it gets, every praise it gets. That is definitely one of the best IPAs I have ever tasted in my life. So it lived up to the hype. I had it hyped up very high in my head, was super excited about it, and it is definitely getting a 10 out of 10 from me. That is something unlike anything I've had before. So, bucket list number 1, can finally put a check mark, and I'm very, very happy about that. Going back to sports, another one that's a big one. Going to the major sports, the World Series. There's multiple games, so it gives you a better opportunity, better chance to get to it. But it's something I've not yet gone to, and it's something I really would love to as well, just being a diehard sports fan. Going to those championship style games and getting the vibe and the energy from it is something exciting. Going to the golf side, if anyone is a golf fan or just barely into golf, you know this one, the Masters. Just to go walk around Augusta National, see the course itself, the beauty. I mean, it looks so beautiful on TV, but from everyone I've heard and talked to, the beauty is 10 times more when you're actually there. So I want to go. I want to take it all in. Go to Amen Corner. Just sit there and watch and take it all in. Even if it's a practice round, I want to get down there. I've entered the lottery to get tickets every year. Have not won it yet. Not a part of the PGA like some of my friends that can go anytime because they are PGA members. And not part of the official agronomy, the grounds crews. So they get to go and they tell me all about it and they make me sad. But eventually I will get there. Staying on that, The Open Championship. I would love to go to that, but I really want to go to when it's at St. Andrews, the old course itself. Going to where basically golf was started. Everyone knows St. Andrews. And the Open Championship used to be called the British Open. Going to St. Andrews and watching that would be a dream of a lifetime as well. Move on to beer number 2 here. The CBS from Founders Canadian Breakfast Stout. So this one also gets a ton of praise. Founders does a lot of good stuff, but this is one of the hardest ones they ever have to find. It's more of your sweet style stout. It's supposed to kind of bring in like the maple syrup, especially coming from Canada. I get coffee on the nose. Then a little sweet like maple syrup smell as well. Ooh. When you first bring it in, it kind of does taste like maple syrup right off the bat. And then the coffee flavors kick in right afterward. So it is almost like you are having breakfast. You start with your pancakes and syrup, and then you finish it off with the coffee and beer. It's such a smooth transition as well. Like I said, up front, when it hits the tongue, you get the sweetness of the maple syrup. It's still heavy, as you can tell by looking at the color of it. And then as it finishes, you get that coffee stout flavor, and it's so smooth and light. You would think it'd be heavier looking at it, but it's not. It is so good. Yeah, it's worth going out and finding if you can. If you're a stout fan at all, go find this beer. I know it's hard to find, but do it. I can understand why it's on the bucket list and why it's on a ton of highly rated must-try beers before you die. Top beers all over the world as well. Another 10 out of 10. They knocked it out of the park. It's always scary when you're trying bucket list beers. You never try and you read all the hype and everything, but these both hammered it home and knocked it out of the ballpark. This one coming from Canada just brings me right into the next part of my sports bucket list, the Olympics. I would love to go to the Olympics, just see the pageantry that comes with it. All the countries coming together, see the events, see the love and pride. Those athletes, they train for 4 years, and sometimes they get one shot at it. So to see them train and see the pride they have would be a blast just to take that all in. Love to see the opening ceremony, if not at least a medal ceremony, just to take that in would be awesome. Keeping with things around the world, the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup, the excitement, you can just feel it and hear it on TV. It doesn't matter if it's your country or not, it'd be better if it was, but I'd love to just go to any World Cup game. See the countries, how they cheer, the atmosphere in the stadium itself. It would be a blast. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. The last few here, they're local. They're ones that I probably can get to. One my wife's actually been to, Kentucky Derby. It's just one of those events that you need to go to. No matter if you're a big horse racing fan or not, the spectacle of it all, the hats, the suits, all of that, just take it in. Right down the road there, the Indy 500. I've only been to a couple races myself. Not one IndyCar, but going to the spectacle that is the Indy 500, the race of races when it comes to that sport, that's definitely on the list as well. The last, not least, is to visit every MLB and NFL stadium. That is a wish of mine that I've had for a long time. Luckily, I have family and an amazing wife who loves to do that when we do go travel. So we've been fortunate to see quite a bit of them. I mean, we saw Old Yankee Stadium, made it to Monument Park before they tore it down. Obviously, been to Wrigley, been to quite a few other ones out west. We went to Petco, Dodger Stadium, Anaheim, from Kansas City, been to that. She got me a nice little thing that I can scratch off or put stickers on to each stadium, so we're slowly ticking those off. But that is definitely on the list as well. So let me know your sports bucket list. Let me know your beer bucket list. Again, I'll show you a photo of this. You can take this one if you want, or just create your own. Find beers that you've always wanted to find and try but haven't been able to. Subscribe, like, hit the bell, get those alerts. If you ever get an opportunity to try either one of these beers, do it. Do not pass that opportunity up. Otherwise, you will regret it. They are worth all the hype they do get. Till next time, cheers.